Uh-huh. Yeah, I promise. Nothing controversial. Okay, bye. We've been lied to. For years, we've been told that increasing velocity means more progress. But what if I told you that chasing velocity is actually holding your team back? That it's more about looking busy than delivering value? Today, I'm going to break down why velocity isn't as important as you think it is and how to focus on what actually moves the needle. Hey, I'm Troy, and welcome back to Agile Without the Kool-Aid, the place where we stop pretending PowerPoint slides equal transformation. If you're tired of agile theater and want real results, hit subscribe below. Now let's go. Have you ever been sitting in a sprint review and heard someone say,
Our velocity increased by 20%.
everyone nods like this is an automatic win? But here's the truth. Velocity is a lie. It's just a number and one that can be easily manipulated. It doesn't measure value or prove success. Velocity is one of those metrics that look impressive on paper, but means nothing if not tied to real outcomes. So let's break down how the velocity trap usually happens. Teams start tracking velocity religiously. Leadership starts celebrating faster numbers without actually asking, did we deliver value? And then teams start gaming the system, breaking down user stories just to increase the count. One team I worked with was thrilled. They just hit their highest velocity ever, 50 story points in a sprint. But when I asked what they delivered, their answer was vague. Turns out they spent the sprint breaking down easy tasks to inflate their numbers. I had to break the news to them that they were celebrating quantity, not quality. Not a fun conversation to have. That's not progress. It's just agile theater. Look, I get it. Reporting faster numbers feels good. We all want to show progress. And when velocity is used right, it can help teams understand their capacity. Just don't let it be the only measure of success. Real progress means moving smarter, not just faster. The core problem is velocity becomes a distraction from what really matters, solving problems and creating value. When velocity becomes the goal, instead of just a guide, teams end up pushing out half-baked features just to hit a number. Now let me know in the comments below, what are some of the crazy metrics that your team reports on that don't actually matter? The velocity obsession creates myths that keep teams stuck. Higher velocity means more productivity. No, it's just quantity over quality. Velocity measures team performance. No, it measures busyness, not achievement. We need velocity to forecast. Only if you like guessing with fancier spreadsheets. If velocity really equaled value, we just spend every sprint breaking down every story into single line items.
Made coffee. Did stand up. Questioned existence.
Look, I'm not saying velocity is useless. In stable, mature teams where the context is clear, it can be a helpful trend indicator. But when it becomes the primary measure of success, it distracts from what really matters. Remember when we talked about ownership? Real ownership isn't about hitting a number. It's about delivering outcomes. Velocity isn't inherently bad. It's just often used wrong. What actually matters is impact. What difference did your work make? Outcomes. Did it solve a problem or move the needle? Sustainability. Are you delivering without burning your team out? A team I worked with had a steady, modest velocity, around 20 points per sprint. They didn't obsess over speed. They focused on user feedback and solving real issues. Their customer satisfaction shot up, and nobody cared about their velocity number. Results always speak louder. Velocity isn't evil. It just needs context. Here's how we use it right. Treat it as a guide, not a goal. It helps with planning, but not measuring success. Connect it to real outcomes. Don't just say, we hit 40 points this sprint. Instead, say, we solved 3 customer pain points. Focus on consistency. A predictable, sustainable velocity is much better than one with random spikes. It means you're delivering without burnout. When talking to leadership about moving away from velocity as the primary metric, focus on the outcomes that matter to them. Customer satisfaction, reduce cycle time, and problem resolution. Frame it as moving from being busy to making progress. If your team treats velocity like a goal rather than a guide, you're setting yourself up for failure. Velocity is just a tool. The real win isn't velocity, it's sustainable value delivery. Now here's a challenge for everyone. In your next sprint planning, after estimating the stories, ask the team, if we could only ship half of these stories, which ones would actually move the needle for our users? Then prioritize those. Sure, your velocity may drop, but your impact won't. If you're ready to stop chasing numbers and creating real impact, hit subscribe and let's kill Agile Theater together. Also, let me know in the comments how you use velocity and ways you make it work for you and your teams. I'll see you next time. No fluff, no Kool-Aid, just clarity.